Hi, this is Joe Soto again with Revenue Inbound here to give you another lesson inside of the social media marketing agency program. By now you've gone through, dozens of modules to get to this point, but at this point I want to be able to teach you how to use social media audits to get clients. And there's really two ways that you'll use a social media audit to get a client. So first is if you don't have any clients yet, or you don't have very many clients, you're going to use social media audits to get your foot in the door, to really open the eyes of whoever it is you're doing an audit for, and really persuade them to give you an appointment or at least learn more about what your services entail. The other way you'll use it is when you've met with a potential client, a prospect, is they'll ask for a proposal. And if you really want to lock in that proposal, you can tell them that inside that proposal you're going to do a social media audit so they can kind of see the whole scope of how you're looking at their social media and how it can be improved. There's actually a third way you can use audits once you really get good at this, and that is you can sell them. So you can actually go to any company, even if they're using an agency or not, and you can offer to do a social media audit for a small fee. And there's nothing wrong with charging $200, $500, and some people I know charge several $1,000s depending on the size of the company that you're targeting or that you're prospecting. And I'm going to invite you to really explore that. I had a company that was a financial services company, and they had a social media team in-house that was working on their blogging and their social media, including their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. And they had felt that their website and their blog wasn't generating the leads that it needed to be generating, and that their social media wasn't helping it at all. So they came to me and said, would you be willing to look at our presence and give us a proposal on your services, or maybe how you could help us? Well, I really wanted to sell them my coaching services, but I started with doing an audit for them. And it really exposed their existing team's weaknesses, but more importantly, it highlighted things that I knew that I could tell them that they should be doing. That doesn't necessarily mean that they know how to do it. So always remember that, because I get some people who are resistant to doing audits, and they say, I don't want to give somebody an audit because they'll just give it to the next social media person or whoever it is they have managing their social media, and they'll just steal the business from them. That won't happen, because if they were any good at doing social media in the first place, your audit wouldn't be exposing them. So you're not going to teach anybody anything in this audit. You're only going to just expose the weaknesses, or kind of exploit what those things that stand out are, and really bring to their attention some incongruencies in their brand and business online. So what I'm going to do, and I have here, I think to a lot of people's request, I have here a social media audit template, and this is going to be downloadable below the video here, I believe. Okay, so in addition to the template, we also have a few pages of social media audit instructions and audit resources to help you do this audit. It kind of walks you through more specifically what to do, but I'm going to give you a heads up. We're actually going to experiment and do this live right here with actually a new client of mine. So let's go ahead and turn to the computer. And as you can see here, there's a restaurant pulled up, and the name of this restaurant is Requin. I think that's how you say it. It's funny, I don't even know how to say it. This is a restaurant that's part of the Mike Isabella restaurant group. Mike Isabella Concepts is the name of it. And Mike Isabella, for those of you who watch Top Chef, was a finalist on Top Chef. I think he made it to like the 16th episode or whatever it was, and he lost, got second place. But then they brought him back as, I think he was back for Top Chef All-Stars, and he was one of the fan favorites, and then he came back for, I think, where they are now. And there was another contestant that was in, I think it was in his same season, who made it quite far, and she also made it to the All-Stars and favorite fan seasons, and then the Where Are You Now season. Her name was Jennifer Carroll. You can see here on their website, under the About section, there's Jennifer Carroll's name and Mike's name right there. And they're both celebrity chefs. So you'd think, well, here's a restaurant with a celebrity chef backing it and behind it. And Mike Isabella has, I think it's 7 or 8 restaurants in the D.C. metro area between Maryland, Northern Virginia, and D.C. And then he has a restaurant in the Nationals ballpark. And then he has I think it's a Euro stand in Nationals ballpark. And then he's got one in Dulles Airport. He's got a restaurant inside the airport. And then he's got a 10 concept food emporium that he's opening, almost like an upscale eatery that's in the Galleria in Tyson's near DC. And those 10 concepts, those 10 restaurants are all opening up in 2017, along with 2 other restaurants that he's opening in that whole area. One that's opening up in March and one that's opening up, I believe it's in July or August. They're a new client of mine, and so you can kind of watch their social media profiles improve over the next 6 to 12 months if you want to get some insight on the kind of work that we do with restaurants. But I'm actually showing you one of the reasons why they hired us. And it's because they've got such a crappy social media presence for some of their restaurants. In particular, this is one that we're going to be starting with. We're actually starting with 2 of those restaurants right now for the first 60 days and then phasing into all of them over the next few months. So if you see here for their group, you got some celebrity chefs. So I'm going to show you what I look for, because the very first thing on the social media audit is there's going to be, and I'm going to pull that up here so you can see that on my screen. This is all templated, so you can put your logo in here and you can put your name, the business name. It doesn't have to be a restaurant. This works for any type of business, and we use it for more than just restaurants, so keep that in mind as well. But you'll see here, it's actually positioned as a report to them. So you really want to show a snapshot of their social media sites. That's why you see them listed here, and some questions that we really want to probe and want to ask them so they think through more strategically why they're using social media. I always have an initial paragraph, which is like initial observations. So I'll talk about what my initial observations are of this particular client here in a moment. I'm just going to take you through the template real quick. Then you see social media platform observations here, where I give example observations. Now, some of these examples, you'll just steal them. Just take them. Just use the actual sentence in your audit. I actually put several in here that are true for almost every single person that we audit for Facebook, and just to give you some examples of what it looks like. So you see here it's just observations and recommendations. And then you're going to do the same thing for Instagram, Twitter, Google, Google My Business, and Google+, which is important for local SEO and for them to show up on Google right, for YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn. And then I do a summary of recommendations, which is really where your proposal is going to come into play. But I usually just bullet point out a bunch of different recommendations for how they should improve their profile. So, and remember, just because you're telling people, or I shouldn't say what to do, I'll tell them, here's my recommendations, here's some things I suggest. I'm telling them what to do, but I'm not teaching them how to do it. Now, there's some of it's going to be a given, like you don't have any cover art for your Google page. Well, that's not hard for their team to go and make that. So you are really adding value to them. And I have no problem adding value to somebody who may not use my services, because I know that enough good's going to come back. They might refer somebody to me down the road. They might lose their existing agency or people doing their social media, and they're going to think of me first because I was the only person to come in and help with this social media audit without really expecting anything in return, but hoping for maybe getting their business. So that's really the template in itself, but I want to walk you through what I look for. And you can customize that how you want. So first of all, let's just take a look at the website. I'm going to go back, and I'm not sure how I got to the menus page, but let's go back to the home page. Sometimes I critique the website a little bit. I really am critiquing, though, the overall online presence. In this case, I actually know this firsthand because I've had a few meetings with them and recently brought them on. They are having their website redesigned. So let's don't talk too much about that, although I do think that it needed a redesign. I do like the visual images because they've taken some really good photos. But you can see here they have their social media sites listed right on their page, so it takes me right to them. That's not all of them. You know, I see here I can learn a little bit about the business by going to the press, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So first place I always go to, because it's the one place I know we can get immediate lift from most businesses, whether it's a restaurant or any type of business. We recently took on a $50 million local plumbing company. I say local, but they're really like a regional company with, I don't know, hundreds of trucks and plumbing company for our revenue inbound agency business. But on the restaurant side of things, this will be a fun one. So I go right to their website or their Facebook page, and I know, because when I talked with them, and also you can learn this on their, I think, the homepage, this opened about 10 months ago. So they've had 10 months to work on their social media and their overall presence. And if you see here on Raquin's Facebook page, that sure looks good. I'm a seafood lover, so I really want that. But if I scroll down, the first thing I look for is the likes, and I record that on the audit sheet. They only have 527 people that like their Facebook page. Now, they have a celebrity chef who was on several seasons, not just one, but not just two, but several seasons of the very popular television show Top Chef. And by the way, if you happen to be one of the social media agency consultants that are selling to restaurants, you know, the Food Network and all these different food shows, like, you know, I was watching last night the Bakers or Fakers show, and you know, you need to pay attention to the food shows because some of your client prospects might be on there, like Top Chef. So here, 527 people, I immediately know that they absolutely stink at social media because you have to be really bad to be 10 months in business and only have 500 people like your Facebook page. At social media, bad at social media. You might be a great restaurant, have great food, but you're not very good at getting people to go to your Facebook page. I'll go and look at their reviews because I want to know a little bit about the restaurant. I also don't really, if a restaurant only has like 2 stars for reviews, but they have a lot of reviews, no matter how good your marketing is, if their food sucks, if their service stinks, it's not going to matter. You know, just pass on that client. Go to somebody else. But more than likely, you're going to find somebody like this. You know, this is typical of a celebrity chef restaurant. It's going to have 4.7 out of 5 stars. That's very high. Anything over 4.5 and above usually tells me they have a pretty good chef on board. In this case, of course, she's a good chef. This is a restaurant that Mike Isabella and Jennifer Carroll teamed up on. They started the concept together. So there's really got 2 celebrity chef names behind the restaurant, as you saw on their website. Let's go back to the website. You can see that when I clicked on About. In the drop down, Jennifer's name comes up, and so does Mike Isabella. And you can see here, he was honored by the Restaurant Association. He was the 2016 Restaurateur of the Year. You know, he's got 9. It says 9 restaurants. Like I mentioned, a couple of them were in the. One was in the airport, and one was in the Nationals Park. And you can see here it talks about him opening the 10 concept dining. So even with all these accolades, they still suck at social media. Their Facebook page is awful. You don't see any leveraging of their social celebrity on here. So let's go through it. I really have all the information I personally need, but for the sake of teaching this lesson, you might scroll down through here, and you can see here, this looks delicious. Come have dinner and treat yourself to dessert. They're hashtagging dessert, and really they're probably using, I mean, sometimes you can use hashtags a smart way. This isn't necessarily the right way to use it here because it's not localized to their area. I'd be hashtagging Fairfax if I was them because they're in Fairfax, Virginia, and nobody knows they're there. And if you say, well, what do you mean nobody knows they're there? I know that nobody knows they're there because I happen to know that they have a need because the restaurant was pretty empty when I went there. Number 2, they only have 500 people on their Facebook page. Nobody knows they're there. This is why they're suffering. This is why they need help. Even with a big name, and get this, Jennifer Carroll, one of the chefs, and that actually works in the restaurant, the celebrity chef that was on Top Chef, she has 50,000 Twitter followers. She doesn't know how to even drive those into a restaurant because they're probably all over the country. So in this case here, when I scroll down, the common thing I see here is 1, 2, 3 likes. Don't forget we have happy hour every day. Believe me, there's nobody to forget because there's nobody you're notifying here. There's 3 people like it. This is terrible. I scroll down here. This is beautiful. Ever tasted heaven in a bowl? This looks like heaven in a bowl. This looks delicious. And they have 4 likes. So no one's seeing it. 2 likes. This looks delicious too. They have some of the best photos I've ever seen in the restaurant industry. But that doesn't matter if no one sees them. And so I know that I can get immediate lift on Facebook just from this alone. Look at Jennifer Carroll has her own Facebook page, and she has 7,300 likes on that. And I bet she doesn't do a very good job of driving people to this page. She probably mentions it a lot, but doesn't know how to actually drive people to the page. Really sad. So, okay. Here's what we're proud to participate in Restaurant Week, which is coming up, by the way, the 30th through the 8th, featuring a special 3-course meal. Now, it's going to be Restaurant Week, and how many people are going to know about them? These 2 people who like this. That's about it. So that's going to be a dismal time for her. Luckily, we start work for them on 2/1, so we might save their ass, and people will be flooding to the restaurant. I'm not going to. This is a bad picture that no one caught it. Our chocolate souffle is a guest favorite, but yet your picture's blurry. But they had 5 likes on that which is crazy that even a blurry picture got more likes. Don't forget we have happy hour again. Here's, don't forget again, which is terrible language and it's really bad. So, okay, Facebook's bad. You know what's really bad about this too? I'd look at, this is a restaurant, so they should have their menu on the left side here. You actually can add a menu tab on the left-hand side of this Facebook page. So that's missing. They do have a call now button activated, which is good. I like that. And their website's linked on here. If I click on About, they have a good description. I did notice something. Let's go back to the home page real quick. There's some people writing reviews on the right side here. This person says, we were really disappointed in the roast turkey entree on Christmas Eve. By the way, a lot of the things I'm saying about this thing, I'd be writing in my report. So right here it says, we're really disappointed in the roast turkey Eve on Christmas Eve. So this was a comment on December 25th. The reason why I'm pointing this out to you is because they didn't comment on this person's comment. They probably don't even realize it shows up on their homepage, to be quite honest with you. It's on the homepage of their Facebook page. Now, as a review, it was somebody who was actually posting the comment on their page, and it shows up here. They're not responding to it. Even when they're getting good ones. Here's this one. Do you have a gluten-free menu, gluten-free items marked on your menu, and or can you easily accommodate a gluten-free dinner? Now, she's a celebrity chef. You think she can do gluten-free? Of course. All she has to have is a request to the kitchen. That's most chefs. I know that just from being in the restaurant business, and with experience, you're going to know a few of these things, but if you don't know, just ask your client. They didn't respond, they didn't answer, they just left it going. So how can you expect people to come in when you're not even addressing what little activity is occurring on your Facebook page? That's all terrible. So, and I have no problem telling even celebrity chefs how bad they are at marketing. I actually got a chance to meet with her in person. And the first thing I said was, you rest on your laurels. You're a celebrity chef, you're probably damn good at cooking food, but you thought you could do this without marketing. And she's like, you're right, we thought we could. We really thought we could. All right. Instagram was on here too, so let's go to Instagram. Now, their Instagram has more than twice as many followers as their Facebook page, which tells me they put more emphasis and are putting more time into their Instagram. They have 241 posts on Instagram, which is great. When I met with their team, they actually did tell me that they put a lot of emphasis on Instagram. And their PR girl that was in the meeting said to me, let's give you a little sales tip, she was in the sales meeting and she said, well, that's our priority and Facebook is second. And I said, well, the reason why Facebook's second in your priority list for marketing is because you don't know how to use Facebook. So they just kind of looked at me and said, well, what do you mean? Well, that's what you're paying me for. So if you look here, I'm just looking at this post right here. And what I'm looking for is to see if Requin, while they're posting these photos, are they responding to people's comments? So when Frami Mother Stable, whatever this username is here, says, I've had this, fabulously delicious, it should show that Requin DC commented and said, thanks for coming in. They need to see if they're even interacting here. Let me just click on another one. So while they're posting, they're not interacting. They are posting beautiful photos, and all of these photos could really kick ass. Here's Jennifer. Look at this video of Jennifer. Looks like a piñata. She's hitting a piñata, if you can see it moving on our video screen. Again, 1,100 views and 12 comments, but they were all tags. No interaction. So you're getting likes, but it's not doing anything for you. Honestly, what customers they do get are probably coming in from their Instagram because their posting is decent, but here's another challenge. So when you're inside of Instagram, one of the things I do is I type in like this, like I'm doing right in front of you. I'll type in until it pops up their location. You see this little location? It shows Requin in Fairfax. I'll click on that, and that actually opens up their geolocation for their Instagram, so I can find posts of people who've geotagged their location when they're at the restaurant. So for example, let's just click on this one right here. This says a lady, and she's got 37 likes, and she posted some of her, it looks like her entire meal and 4 different snapshots. No interaction. And I'll type this in the report. It looks like you've got people who are geotagging. In fact, I'll take a screenshot of this and I'll put it inside of the audit. And I'll say, it looks like you've got people who are geotagging your restaurant on Instagram that you're not finding and commenting and, telling, and interacting with, whether it's saying, hey, thanks for stopping in, or hey, great picture, we might use that for our own social media and steal it, or hey, come back and see us again sometime soon, or hey, tell your friends, or whatever it is, they need to be interacting. Look at this. This post was that's inside the restaurant. I've been there. It's beautiful. And you can see here, 44 likes. These people posted their picture. There's 4 girls. They had dinner. Probably had their server take their picture while they were out for ladies' night. And Raquin, the restaurant, has no interaction, didn't thank them, and they were geotagged. And they could also take some of these photos and share them on Facebook. So what happens is, this is a little hole. It's something that almost every single restaurant and every single business that's getting geotagged, whether it's any type of, particularly local businesses, where people are tagging their location on Instagram when they're actually doing an Instagram photo in that spot. Most businesses miss this. They don't even know there's this conversation going on kind of behind their back, and that they could be participating in it, to engaging with people, so people see them as live and breathing online, and encourage them to come back and see them. I also can find, here's their Twitter. So they've got 672 followers on Twitter. That's okay. I can just tell it's not really helping them much. So they are getting one to 2 likes and retweets per post. They're using Twitter better than they're doing their Facebook, actually, but they're still not using it very good. So what I'll look at on here is, I'll just report where they're at, and then I'll mention I'll mention the good and the bad. So I may say things like, you're using great photos. The good is you're getting 1 to 2 retweets and a like every time you post. The bad is that's all you're getting. I see very little interaction with media or local bloggers. I do see here that talk about, again, they're participating in Restaurant Week. They're driving people to Open Table. Here's something you can, and by the way, everything that you should be looking for on Twitter is in your instructions I give you. Like, is there a website list on their profile? Some simple stuff. Are they tweeting relevant content? Are they using hashtags? Are they talking to others? Do they have Twitter lists? You can see they only have 1 list. Are they engaging? Are people engaged with them, retweeting and replying? They're not getting much of that. So this gives you a crutch of what to say and what to walk people through on Twitter. If I go to their Google, I did a Google search for their Google Plus profile for when people do find them on Google. As you can see here, they don't have any cover art for Google. They have no posts on Google. They probably have a decent, so I'll mention that this is missing, by the way. If I do Requin DC, like just a search for them on Google, I see here on the right side, this is how they're showing up on Google My Business and Google Maps. And I'll evaluate that and just make sure that it's got correct information. Sometimes you'll be surprised they have their hours wrong on Google, and if you can catch that, so compare that to their website hours and check and see if it's correct. Because if you can find discrepancies and point it out, you're adding value to them, and you'll stand out as somebody who's helping them. You can see here I clicked on their photos to see what type of photos people will tag. And look at this. This is Baby Octopus that Matt D, whoever Matt D is, posted on Google. Not on Instagram, not on Twitter, not on Facebook. Most every business I talk to has no idea that their people are putting photos of their business, of their food, etc., on Google, let alone, and they might be doing Google reviews, but they can stick it on their Google profiles, and they can tag it to their map. Here's man, this food looks good, huh? So if you're looking at this, you're probably getting hungry. This is the worst module ever. You're gonna go buy a bunch of food tonight. But you can see here, people. There's lots of people. These are all, every photo I'm clicking through are photos. Now this one was actually, yeah, they're all different people, customers that have eaten here. This one says from the web. Nope, this one says George Chen. Yeah, they're posting their food photos. So most people don't even know they have these photos here. And the reason for pointing it out is that they have an opportunity to upload all of their photos. Like I think they did this one. Looks like they've uploaded it, but they didn't do it. They did it in November of 2015 somehow. They need to upload all of their great photos that they have on here, so it overrides some of the bad photos that customers have taken. It's customers. You can't rely on customers to be your first impression. That is pretty nice. They've got a little lower reviews on Open Table than they do on Facebook. And then there's some critic reviews here I see. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for overall feeling and impressions, and I'm looking for engagement, and I'm looking for whether or not anything that they're doing looks like it's driving customers into the seats of their restaurant. So this is safe to say, particularly because of their Facebook, that they are lacking specific systems and methodologies to get new customers using social media. And I'll put that in the audit. I will say it just like that. It's my guess that you do not have, on a weekly basis, people coming in to your restaurant because of your social media efforts. Because they're going to verify that that's true. And anytime that's being pointed out to them, gives them a presupposition that you are suggesting, you're presupposing that you could help them get people into their restaurant or into their business using social media. And they're just going to ask how at that point. They don't have a Pinterest, I don't believe. I was looking. But you can, on the audit instruction sheet, you're going to be able to read the types of things you're looking for on Pinterest. Do they have a business account with a verified website on Pinterest? Do they have at least 5 boards with 5 pins up? Because that's about the basis of what they need if they want to get any type of local SEO using Pinterest. Are they using good keywords in their board titles? You know, are they using localized SEO type keywords? You've been through some of the SEO and keyword lessons here. Are they using and applying those principles to Pinterest? Are they applying those to Instagram and Twitter so people can find them when they're searching local on Google? There's some additional resources, and we'll come off here and now go back to video. There's a couple of audit resources I put in here to help you get through this. One is, it's called Likealizer, and it's to analyze Facebook pages and give you recommendations that you can cut and paste into the social media audit. It's really pretty cool. In fact, let's do it. Let's go back here to the computer and do this, actually. Let's do Likealizer, and let's do hang on. Let's just do one live. Here we go. This will be fun. This is a little impromptu here. They love that here at the Knowledge Society when we go just impromptu. Okay, here we go. Likealizer. You ever heard of it? Probably not. So you go in here. It's free. You stick in the Facebook page, and it says doing magic. We'll wait while it pulls it up. And look at this. It actually does a really nice little audit for you for Requin. So here's the review of Requin. So recommendations, like other pages, interact with them. They're not doing that. Yep, create more engaging posts. It's actually giving you sentences you could just cut and paste right into your audit. It's a beautiful thing. And as you scroll down and look at this, it shows you how many posts per day they're averaging, how many likes and comments and shares per post they're averaging. In this case, it's 2, which is really embarrassing for them to see. Posts per type, not really sure what that means, but I think it means whether they're doing video or comments or doing images. Their timing is perfect because they're only doing a couple a day. Length of posts between 100 and 500 characters, they get a good one for that. It says you should ask more questions. So that's partly how they can get more engagement by asking more questions. They're using hashtags. It says your fans seem to be responding best to photos, especially photos posted between 18 and 21 GMT, which is, what's that, guys, military time. To know whether your posts and followers like, check your page's top posts. So actually let them, it'll give you their top posts, which is kind of nice. You can actually cut and paste that and say, here's your top posts. Because again, you're bringing it to their awareness. They don't even realize what their top posts are, which are going to be the ones that get the most engagement. In their case, most of them don't get much. There's only 1 post by others last month on your Facebook page, so they're not getting a lot of fans who are trying to dialogue with them on Facebook, and that's because nobody likes them on Facebook yet, because it's almost like they're a brand new restaurant. And so when I went and pitched them, now I didn't do an audit for them to sell them. Now, you might say, well, why? You're not doing what you're teaching? No, we still do audits once in a while, and we usually do them when we're asked to do a proposal for someone. In this case, because they have so many restaurants, I didn't honestly feel like doing so many audits for so many restaurants. I just basically said, I've looked at all your stuff and all of it pretty much sucks and you have to trust me because I've done this before. When you get to that level to where you have enough experience, you've done enough clients, you can kind of get away with saying that. But when you're first starting out, when I first started out, I did lots of audits. I had no one that gave me a template. I just went through and created like an outline of everything I thought they were doing well and everything I thought they should be improving upon, and I gave it to them. That report alone was valuable to customers. then I realized, you know, there's other resources online that allow you to, that gives you some of this information. So Likealyzer is a very cool tool. There's another one I have on here. There's a link to an SEO report card, so you can give them to do SEO audits. You could also do, if somebody wants to have you look at their website because their website stinks, or maybe their website just sucks and they didn't ask you to look at it, but you did anyway and said, I can't, you know, your social media is going to be great, but if your website stinks, it's not going to be very congruent. And sell them a website. Outsource it for, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 or $500 on Upwork or Fiverr, and charge the client $2,500 to $10,000 for it. And you can go to website.grader.com to analyze your website, or Nibbler is really cool. If you go to Nibbler and there's a URL in your handout to analyze websites and gives you recommendations to put in the audit. Again, these are things you can literally just cut and paste and stick right into the audit. And here's the beauty of this. Once you do one audit, they all kind of start looking alike, because pretty much everybody that you're prospecting, pretty much every small business, if you're targeting small businesses, and when I say small to medium, from you know, maybe $1 million a year to $50 million a year, almost all of them suck at social media or suck at parts of it. We took on this $50 million plumbing company. They had a person in-house that was responsible for the social media, and she didn't want to have to do it all. And she was like happy to outsource it, but she hadn't been able to find somebody she felt like knew more than what she did to be able to do it any better. And so we did do an audit for her and inside the proposal, which is how I'll do the audits nowadays, if we do audits at all. But if you're just getting started, here's the sales process. Go online and find some prospects, which I don't care what your niche is. If it's restaurants, just go to Yelp and type in restaurants in your area. If it's plumbing companies and HVAC companies, HVAC companies, type it in, because they love, so they need leads, by the way. So they need, and if it's a construction company, if it's a painting company, home improvement, if it's a kitchen and bathroom remodeling company, I don't care what your niche is. You can go online and find, just pick one, okay? Right now, just like this. Let's go back to the computer. Here we go, impromptu. So if I type in a kitchen and bath remodeling, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm just guessing here. I'm going to scroll down. Now, I'm probably not going to pick the first that's number one on the list of Google, because they've got some good SEO and probably have better marketing. I'm just going to pick one randomly though towards the bottom, because people who do have good SEO tells you they put some value in this. Oh, there's one, Kitchen Concepts Tulsa. All right, talk to an expert today. Pretty nice looking website. It's like hide and seek to find their social media, which sucks. So where's that at? Yeah. Did I miss it at the top? Oh, it is at the top here. Okay. So I'll click on Facebook. There we go. So the website indicates they look like they're pretty decent size. This looks like it's maybe a family-ran business, but nonetheless, if I scroll through, I can get an idea of how big these are. If it looks like they're doing some pretty big things. Kitchen concepts, kitchen design. They do cabinets. They provide custom kitchen design and contractor services. Kitchen cabinet, yeah. So you know, I don't know what the size of this is, but I'm guessing this is a $1 million+ business. And I can see right here on their Facebook page, they have just over 1,000 likes, 1,800 likes on Facebook. Now, you might look at that and think that's good. I look at that and think that's terrible. I have a new restaurant in small Bristow, California, that they open on February 8th. This is January 26th. I'm recording this module. They open February 7th or February 8th. I think it's February 7th. And they have over 2,000 likes already. They have not even opened yet. They've reached over, I don't know, 200,000 people on their Facebook posts. They have over 1,200 emails collected already just from our social media efforts, because we're using social media and Facebook advertising. And we're also driving people there from their Instagram and other accounts we've set up for them. So just this is what you do. You go through, you find somebody, and you go, okay, I'm going to do a Google search, and I'm going to start searching all their social media, and I'm going to do an audit cold. This is what I would do if I didn't have any clients, or I didn't have very many. Here we go. Look at this. I'm on their Twitter. I just to that kitchen concept place from Tulsa, and they have no cover photo at all on their Twitter. They have a blurry profile picture, and I would cut and paste this. I would screenshot this and I would stick it into the audit. Just like this, by the way. Watch this. I'm going to screenshot it, and then I'm going to grab it from my desktop, and I'm going to insert it. Wait, hang on. Let's go to, let me see if I can get down to my, hold on. Where's Twitter? Where's Twitter? Right here, Twitter. Observations. I'm going to stick it right in the observations section, just like that, as you're seeing me do it. And I'm going to say, no header photo, profile, icon, photo, blurry, and awful. I might be a little more specific, it's not sized correctly, gives a poor first impression, looks unprofessional, right? I mean, I'm just going to be honest, right? And I'm going to go through and bullet point these. This is all the harder it is to do in audits. Don't overthink this. This is simple stuff. I mean, most people suck. I just found that randomly in Tulsa, right? Now let's go look at the other stuff. Let's go look at their, real quick. But their website's pretty nice looking, and it's got good SEO. Talk about incongruent. They also have Instagram. They're showing they have Instagram, 276 followers, 68 posts. So you really think 68 posts is enough posts to sell maybe a new kitchen or bathroom remodeling? You know what they get paid to do those things? I'm talking 10, 20, up to $200,000 for these things. So you got to act like it on social media, and that's the thing I'd put inside their audit. Not good. Instagram's not good. And then they have Pinterest. Now their Pinterest should rock. They are a kitchen and bathroom remodeler. They have 118 followers. They do have some really cool boards set up. Now this is where you can go through. They're not using good keywords here. Not using good local keyword marketing. Are they using good hashtags? Are they using links and driving people to their website? Are they doing videos, not just photos on Pinterest? This is where you can go through and analyze. Now, you can do a whole social media audit. Whoever lives in Tulsa who's on this video should go get this client. And you can get as many as you want if you just go through Google enough and look at how many are bad. It doesn't matter what kind of business it is. You can just pick it. Whatever your niche is, go through. So how I would do it, I would do the audit. Now, you can do a couple different things, right? You can email it to them. You can go on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn the best because people tend to look at their messages on LinkedIn. You can go on LinkedIn and say, hi, Jim. I see you own, the Tulsa Kitchen and Bathroom Modeling Company, whatever it's called. And I've done a complete, 6-page social media audit, no charge for you. Here's the link to see it, or I've attached it here. Hope it helps you and your team get better at social media because you sure need it. If you want to talk or have, talk about how we might be able to aid you in that process, we're all ears, or whatever. Just reach out. You don't have to go for the appointment right away. You don't have to sell them on your services. Believe me, the social media audit alone will get their attention. I just had one of my coaching students email me today, or last night actually, I responded to it this morning. And they said that one of their people they emailed, their social media audit, they emailed back and they said, okay, thanks for the report. What would your social media services cost? That was in a nutshell what his 2 or 3 sentences basically said. But it's a buying question. Thanks for the audit. How much does this all cost? That's when you go for the appointment. Say, well, for everyone it's a little bit different. We don't have, one size fits all solution. We want to sit down, have a quick 30-minute conversation. When's a good time in your schedule this Thursday or Friday? And go get the appointment. That's how I would use a social media audit to get new clients. And if you've already got prospects on the hook and you want to make sure that you really do close them the next time you see them and you're going to be presenting a proposal or going and showing them a proposal. I love presenting proposals, by the way. Mike Isabella Group asked me to, for example, to send them a proposal. I said, I'll have the proposal done on Monday, but can we meet on Wednesday? They said, yep. On Tuesday, he says, I didn't get my proposal. I said, well, I'm going to present it to you on Wednesday. It's too long to go through. I don't want you to have to have questions that go unanswered, so I'll present it to you when I'm there on Wednesday. So I presented it to him and his whole team all at the same time, all at once. I would prefer to present a proposal. But when you do that, having an audit, I think, gives you more firepower. And it's my goal to hear more people in this program have success getting clients, because it's the number one thing you should be working on. Day in and day out is, how do I get more clients? That should be what you wake up. Not, how good is my logo? How good is my website? And, oh, what blog post I need to do today. You should be, if you're not doing at least $1 million in revenue per year in sales, you should be obsessed with, how do I get more clients today? What activity can I be doing today to get more clients? Set a goal. 1 audit a day, cold audits to businesses. Maybe it's taking a different approach. Maybe it's LinkedIn messaging some people, emailing some owners, and asking them for permission to do an audit. Say, hey, I'd love to do an audit for your business. I'd love to do no charge, your green light. Looks like you guys have a great business going. Do you mind if I do this for you? You can try that approach if you want to. The point is, at the end of the week, have some metrics that you're checking up on yourself on. How many audits did you do last week? If I see you ever in person or at one of the events that Tai puts on, I'm going to say, how many audits are you doing per month? Because that's going to tell me what your sales are. I'm going to know how good you're doing based on how many of these you're putting out there if you are new to this and this is a new business for you. And the good part about it is I've given you the tools to be able to do it in these handouts, and it removes all the excuses. Thank you. Go get them.